welcome to Books with Brandywine. Today I wanted to talk about some of Peter Reynolds' books. I only have 2 of his books, but looking online, it looks like he's done a bunch more than that, and they all look like they have inspirational messages, so I'm definitely going to be looking into the rest of his books. But for right now, I only have 2 of them. And the reason that this month's Kids Corner is going to be about him is specifically because of the book The Dot, which has inspired the International Dot Day, which takes place on September 15th. So I'm going to talk a little bit about his books, and then I will explain a little bit more about that International Dot Day. So the 2 books that I have of his are The Dot and The Word Collector. The Dot is about Vashti, who is this little girl here, and she takes an art class once a week, and she doesn't feel like she has any artistic ability at all. She doesn't even try because she doesn't believe she can do it. And her teacher comes up to her one day in class, after class has ended, and she's just sitting there, and she's just sitting in her chair. And the teacher doesn't believe that she doesn't have any art. And so she's just like, just make your mark and see what happens. And so the little girl just jabs her pen into the paper and makes a dot. And then the teacher asks her to sign it. And then when the little girl comes to class the next week, the teacher has framed this dot on a paper and put it on the wall. And young Vashti sees that. And with all of the stubbornness of a little kid, she's like, I can do better than that. And so she goes on this journey where she just makes every kind of dot you could possibly imagine. She makes big dots, small dots, dots of different colors. She even makes a dot by just filling in the space all around it and not actually making the dot. And so she ends up making a lot of dots, including like a sculpture of dots. And she really learns that she does indeed have the potential to do this thing that she thought she couldn't do. And so, and then at the end of the book, she ends up meeting a boy that thinks he can't draw lines. And so she challenges him to prove it and just draw like a squiggly line. And it's implied that she starts off the same journey for him as was started off for her. And so it's a very inspirational book. And I loved it. I came across it while I was shopping at Target. And the first thing I noticed, of course, was the signed copy thing, which is the plate card that's in it. And I saw that, and so I picked it up. Because I'm always curious. Whenever I see signed copies, like, there's a part of me that just has to have, like, all the signed copies. And I started reading it, and I was like, this is a really good book. Like, it's really inspirational. And it was sometime within the last year. And so I picked it up and I bought it. And then it was after that that I found out about International Dot Day. And then, like a few months later, I happened to see this book. I think Barnes & Noble like emailed me to say that this book was going to be coming out because they know that I like picture books because I have my stats, I guess. And I didn't even realize at first that this was written and illustrated by the same guy who did The Dot. But I picked up this book, and basically, this boy here collects words. Everywhere that he finds them, if people are just talking to him and he hears an interesting word, he immediately writes it down. And so he's been, like, Jerome has been collecting so many words. And so he, at one point, he drops all of the words, and they all get jumbled up. Because he has them all on little papers, and then he starts using them to write poems and to write songs, and he realizes that, I love this part, some of the simplest words are the most powerful, and it has, I'm sorry, thank you, I understand, and you matter. And so he collects more and more words, and then he ends up taking them up this huge hill, and he dumps out all of his words to the children in the valley below so that they can all have the words too. And it says Jerome had no words to describe how happy that made him. And in the back it has a quote that says, reach for your own words. Tell the world who you are and how you will make it better. And so, like, I read it, I saw it, and I was like, of course I had to have this too, because I love getting books that are like inspirational and like trying to teach my son to like be his own person. I just love all those books. So I always try to buy books like that whenever I can find them. And like I said, I looked at the list of books that Peter Reynolds has illustrated, and it looks like all of his books are inspirational like that. The Dot is actually part of a trilogy called, it was a weird word, let me see if I can remember it, Creatrilogy. So it's a trilogy, but it's Creatrilogy. And all three of the books are inspiring kids to show their own creativity. And so this is the middle book of that series. This came out in 2003. I think the first one came out in 2000, and the second one came out, this one came out in 2003, and then the third one came out in 2004. And I think they're called, it's not Sky World, Sky Color. Sky Color is the first one, and then The Dot, and then the third one is just called Ish. And so I definitely I love these two books. I would definitely recommend getting these two books. And like I said, I'm going to look into his other books. I am hoping they are just as awesome, and I'm sure they will be. So about International Dot Day, which there's a sticker even for it right up there. So International Dot Day takes place on September 15th. Ish. It says on the website, September 15th-ish. And that's because you don't necessarily have to, do it on September 15th. You can just do it, kind of around there. And really, I guess it's something you can do all year round. And so basically, this teacher, Terry Shaw, brought the Dot book into his classroom and shared it with his students on September 15th, 2009. And it became a holiday after that. I tried to look up exactly what it is, and I couldn't find exactly one thing that you're supposed to do, but I guess the reason for that is because you're supposed to be creative. So basically, you're supposed to show your creativity in some creative way. It could be writing, it could be sculpture, it could be artwork, it could be anything. Just some sort of creative way that can help brighten the world, I guess. And then you share it with the people around you, and it spreads, I guess. I didn't quite understand what it was, but I definitely encourage you to Google International Dot Day and learn more about it so that you can participate and you can show your creativity, however that may be. And there is a website on the Dot sticker. It is www.thedotclub.org. And they have more information on there. They also have a sign up, so you can sign up for International Dot Day. And it actually shows statistics. I think there was something like 12 million people or something said they were going to participate in 19 countries, I think. I only glanced at the data. I didn't look at it really closely to see what it was. But I just realized I forgot to show you guys the inside cover of the World Collector. So this is the cardboard part. And it's so cool. There's so many words. So many words. But yeah. Like I said, he is becoming one of my favorite artists and authors for children's picture books. And so I'm definitely going to be looking up more of his stuff. And I encourage you guys to as well. I will see you guys next time with more awesome kids books on Kids Corner. Talk to you later.